Neighbors, hello,
Welcome
hello.
back.
Welcome back to the Future Neighbor
Podcast.
Podcast. This is Daniel.
And this is Katie. And well done, Daniel, for deleting our last podcast.
Oh my gosh. Neighbors, we had we recorded this podcast last night, and as soon as we finished it, I wanted to move it to my computer. And then there's like this button on where we record, and it's called like transfer file button. But then for some reason, this is what happens when we record too late. I confused it for the format, the SD card. And I pressed it and it just deleted everything as soon as I finished. And I was just so in shock that it's just such a stupid mistake. Anyway.
When you're in just such a shock and dismay that you don't even have emotions, that's what happened to me.
Yeah, we recorded like an hour and 15 minutes. But we're going to bring those conversations back because I really enjoyed them.
Let's take it as like a rehearsal.
It was a rehearsal yesterday?
It'll be better today.
Okay. So this podcast is brought to you by Gochujar. Gochujar brings Korea's best products, ceramics, and now we're also uploading a lot of skincare products, tried, tested, and the ones that we like. The thing with Gochujar is we test all of the items, okay? So if it goes through to us, you know the quality is going to be great.
And the important announcement from Gochujar.
That's right. We're going to be taking a mini break, a little mini vacation, because we're going to be going back to the U.S.
Finally!
Yes, I haven't been back to the States for about 4 years.
Me, 6 years.
For 6 years, yeah.
Last time I visited was for your sister's wedding.
Well, before we go into that, because we're going to talk about our excitement, the reason we bring that up is we're going to be out of Korea, so it's going to be hardest for us to ship out parcels. So if you do want to, or you've been wanting, or you like your wish list on Gochujar has been growing, please order by April 22nd to be like 100% sure, because that way the following week we can ship everything out.
So 1 week before the end of April.
Exactly. Just keep April 22nd in mind if you were planning to order things on Gochujar. All right? We're going to be in the States. I'm actually very excited to go because I haven't seen my niece. My sister had a beautiful baby daughter. And now I get to see her and see whether she's exact mini-me of my sister. How much of my sister's personality traits have carried over to the baby, and also just build, just have early moments so that, I can celebrate sister's niece. So very excited. And sorry, I have a frog in my throat. Usually comes out when I do a podcast. I don't know why. Maybe I'm going through puberty again. Hello, guys. If we go to California, like,
we want to take an active time there.
Yeah.
I don't want to stay at home. Every day we're going to go out hiking or, I don't know, like to the beach, shopping, sightseeing. I don't know, but is there much to do sightseeing in LA?
No, there's a couple of spots that I want to hit, but I don't know if realistically we'll go, but hopefully we can. One is I want to call my friend and I want to go to Yosemite. All right.
Apparently that sounds really fun.
Apparently that friend does the climbing in the half dome and stuff. So it's a shame that we haven't learned the lead climbing yet, because I heard Yosemite. You know the rating system?
Yeah.
It's like the 5A or like 5Bs or 5Cs. That's the Yosemite system. So all of the grading or the hardness comes from like the base level is set from Yosemite. Yeah. Okay. So there's that.
But just to be out in the nature would be really nice.
Yeah, it'd be spectacular.
Yeah.
And then though I've been watching some documentaries again late night, seeing about all these
crazy ones.
Bear attacks. So maybe we got to take some bear spray along.
Oh, does that work?
Let's not open that can of worms. Okay. And then where are some other places? Like definitely was thinking Catalina Island. We can go surfing there. They have like some beautiful kelp forest. Want to go surfing. Want to call my friend so he can give me a lesson so I could catch some green waves out in Huntington. And maybe if you want to go to Malibu for brunch, I'll drop you off there and then I'll go surfing.
Oh, I want to try having an American brunch.
American diners are delicious.
Yeah.
But I think the portions are going to be so big now that it would be enough for us to like split one plate.
Yeah, I think so.
Our stomachs have shrunk so much. We eat so little now.
Even at restaurants in Korea, we feel so full after a meal. So
then definitely want to climb out or try out some bouldering gyms in LA. I want to see like if the routes are much harder because Americans are much taller. So I want to see if their routes are like match the height.
Yeah, I'm so curious too.
Because my friend, he's a foreigner in Korea, but he's much taller, and it just seems like he breaks all the routes, and he just skips to the second, the fifth.
Yeah, I know taller people like make it look much easier.
Yeah, but when they are in the cave settings, their body weight is so heavy, so they struggle a lot there.
You need a lot of core strength.
Right. Yeah, but the thing with visiting home or anywhere is that oftentimes I think it's much sweeter in the imagination.
I know exactly what you mean. Because last time we took my mom to Italy, it was all rosy and picture perfect in my mind. And then once we got there, it's like somebody's crying, somebody else is crying, someone else is so hurt emotionally. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think
it's a drama.
I remember you explained that because we were walking too fast and we didn't ask if your mom was doing okay, and she was like struggling to keep along, and she felt like
she wasn't in a good mood. And
I already got a little taste of that. I was like, Mom.
But there's always, like when I recall my family trips in the past, always some sort of a drama. Never a time when there's not a drama or not a person crying.
I mean, I got a little taste of that because like I asked my mom, like, oh, it's been a while, so let's go take a family trip. And then my mom's like, oh, great. Where should we go? And I was like, how about Yosemite? And she was like, Yosemite? That's boring. And I was like, boring? I was like, that's one of the greatest like national parks in the US. And she's like, don't you remember, Daniel? We went there when we were young. We saw everything. I was like, everything? That park is humongous, Amma. She was like, no, there's just a little rock and some waterfall, and we saw it one day. It was fine. I was like, Mom, that's like
it's like a check mark.
Yeah, that's like, how do I explain it? That would be like going to Grand Canyon, looking into the binocular and be like, looks all the same coming out. So I kind of pressed it. I was like, no, Mom, I'm sure if we spent like a day or two, we could see like, and it's gonna feel much different traveling now because I think especially for myself, older, and I can experience nature. And she was like, no, 가봤던 데는 다시 안 가고 싶어. Like, I don't want to go places I've already been. How about Yellowstone? I was like, Yellowstone? And then I quickly Googled it. It's in Wyoming. And I was like, Mom, we have to take a flight to Wyoming to go check out a national park, which you might be like see it and say, been there, done that in like literally 5 hours. And do we really want to? I mean, Yellowstone is an hour and a half away from the nearest airport too, which means we have to rent a car, and so it starts getting.
Is it further away than Yosemite?
Yosemite from Southern California, from our house, would be around 7-8 hour drive. So if we took a plane to Wyoming, and then it actually might come out to similar time. I don't know.
But yeah. I can already see there's some clashes. Slowly fuming.
But maybe that's family. It's just that being a family is that even if I know that these things are going to happen, I still return, like I'm still a salmon that returns back to the pond or the place where I was born, because that's my roots. So that's just part of life.
Yeah.
And even though you want the feeling of like being, when you're with your friends, it's all gravy. It's all fun. Traveling with your friends is amazing, right?
Yeah.
But I think I should also like take my parents because they can't speak English well, and they only vacation when, like, remember I took them to Hawaii?
Yeah, and they enjoyed it.
I think they enjoyed it while they were there, but they enjoyed it when they got back, when they think
Even
about
more.
the memories.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Same with my mom.
Yeah.
I get surprised at like when she says, oh, Italy was so good. I wish I can take another trip like that with you guys. But then I feel like her recollection of her Italy versus my recollection is, I can see so different. I think hers is much more blurred. Because like Before she said that, I wasn't sure whether she truly enjoyed it because literally half the time she was just in such a bad mood.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, why did you guys book the vacation so long? I should be back at work. This feels weird. I want to go back." And then as soon as she gets back, "Wow, Venice was amazing.
I want to go again.
No, she said, what country are you going next?" And I would just put my head down. I was like, "Oh." She's like, "Spain?"
But yeah, I don't know.
But Katie, I think we should.
Yeah, it's totally worth it.
We should, because even the memories that you build, like, it's funny, human nature, we forget all about the bad memories, and we hold on to the good memories. So even when I think about Italy with your mom, which is now my mother-in-law, sure, there were some points were a little bit painful, but the beauty of seeing Venice together, the beauty about hearing your mom just singing Maria Santa Luce Maria by herself, like at night, just like her just vibing out, that's what shines like 10 times brighter. And like I hold on to those memories. And maybe this sounds a little bit morbid, but when our parents pass, and I think those memories are going to be the ones that we like cling on to as well. We forget all that. So that's why I think it's worth going through.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's also important to know like the kind of travel style for your parents. Like whether your parents are more like easygoing, I want to chill, that kind of type, or your parents want like really a lot of activity. Because for my mom, if she goes on a trip or unknown places and then we don't do much, like we just look around, all that, then she gets pissed.
Yeah, she does.
She wants to know the history. She wants to like learn stuff, and like, yeah, you remember she even took a note to write down stuff.
Yeah, we're at the museum. We're just like Nubu goofing around and just like, that looks funny. And your mom has like the translation speaker in one headset in one ear. She has like her note out. And I was like,
she was writing.
어머님 다시 대학교 들어간 것 같아요. I think you went back into university.
But she enjoys that kind of things.
I know. That's
but
great.
Then so if we took her to a place without anything, no guide, nothing like that, just go look around, then she's not gonna have fun. So
I think she likes to be intellectually stimulated as she walks around and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe that Santiago, that walk, that that historical walk that you can do in
the Spain, I think.
Spain? I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
Chile?
No. This one is in Spain. It's a long walk, like a 1 month walk.
I don't think
across maybe a little bit of France. Yeah, she said it's like her wish list.
Okay. Well, good luck, Katie.
You're coming too.
Good luck, Katie. I think I'm going to have to run a Gochujar special and just stay busy then. Anyway. Okay. So there's that. Are there any, when I was going through like ideating where I want to go in California, I was also debating that, perhaps we spend a week, because I don't want you to spend like full 3 weeks, because this is your vacation time from work as well.
Yeah.
So perhaps like spending 1 week in New York.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
And we're also debating one week, or like either 1 week in New York or 1 week in Hawaii. Aloha.
Yeah.
Mahalo. This just reminds me, we got to talk about your Chinese. Yesterday, okay, guys. all right, one day. We got to go right back to it. But we do walks at night, and Katie, like all of a sudden, she just starts talking Chinese. Like, 毛小妈.
But my Chinese is valid Chinese.
I know, but it's hilarious.
I know Chinese a little bit because I studied Chinese like at uni a little bit, and I did the summer school in Beijing.
But like a Tourette's, it comes out of nowhere and it catches me off guard, and
I like the reaction.
It makes me laugh every time.
大家好，我是吴东人。你的身体很好吗？我的身体很好。
Right, neighbors. I'm sure there are people who are Chinese speaking. Katie tells me she's like, basically that she's like Confucius, like she's mastered the thing.
No, I'm not master, but the things that I say are valid Chinese. It's not so made up of. I just say, hi everyone, my name is, how is your health? My health is good.
Did you learn Chinese from some old person? Why is the first thing you introduce is how is your health? You learn from like an 80-year-old person doing Tai Chi in the park, huh?
Well, no, this is in the Chinese 101, that booklet.
Okay.
And I remembered that more because I had a Chinese friend, and then when I go to see her mother, I would always say that to her.
Can you do some more? Yeah, just do some more. I
我不知道。真的吗？
真的吗？
饿死了。I'm so hungry. 我不知道。I don't know. 快点儿，快点儿。
There's one that it always sounds like a cuss word. 吃饭了吗？
吃饭了吗？
What does that mean? You always say that to me.
Did you eat? Have you eaten?
Okay, see, this is the first time you explain because you always goes, no, you should just figure it out. But shufaloma sounds like shibaloma, which is like a curse word, like MF in Korean. So she always says that to me. Okay. All right, at the end, you're going to drop a little monologue in Chinese just to see.
我爱你，再见。
I know what 我爱你 means.
Yeah.
Means I love you, right?
Yeah.
谢谢, 谢谢. By the way, guys, the airplane flights are so expensive. Right now, like usually I used to book flights from Seoul to LAX for about 1,000, or more like 1,200 with tax. But now it's coming out to 2,100, 2,200 with taxes. So nearly for 2 tickets, we're paying like 4,400, 4,500 just to get there. My gosh, looks like no gifts for the family.
We haven't decided where we want to go, like on after that, maybe like New York. But I'm really excited about New York.
New York.
Like all the good food. Like I want to check out Central Park. Like that's what I always...
You want to try out that Shake Shack.
Shake Shack. Hello, guys.
And see if it tastes the same as
I really want
to
come. Like Five Guys? Is that also in New York?
Well, it's nationwide now, but it didn't start in New York.
Oh, okay.
No, but more
like cheesecake.
I want to get
those cookies.
Oh yeah. There's like
chocolate cookies,
boutique pastries.
Yeah, all the tasty places.
Let's get it. I want to go to a nice steakhouse in New York. Like I think Peter Luger's is one that's always on TV and stuff. Go get a nice ribeye steak. Oof, it's gonna taste so good. But more than anything, what I want to take you is like, I want to go to some of those like hipsterish bar, like a whiskey bar or like lounges. No, actually, I actually want to. No, who am I kidding? I actually really want to go to like some hip hop clubs in like Brooklyn or like just some like real authentic like hip hop clubs.
Yeah, Daniel loves dancing.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
You do the dance really well, especially the driving motion. I could never do that, but you just got the vibe.
See, what I recognize is that when I was single, going to the club is so like, there's that energy. You gotta like go like when you're with your guy friends, you gotta go try to grab girls, and like there's just so many things you gotta do. And then most of the times you just come home. We all just come back home with excuses. The club was shitty. Man, music wasn't right. And so but now married and I can just enjoy live music and I could just dance and just enjoy the vibe. Oh. And I love going to clubs just for that. Like you got the speakers. I love live music. You just get the speakers like, and like you can feel the bass in your heart. Boom, boom, that 808's going and your favorite hip-hop tracks just...
And then you're gonna take over the stage?
Oh, I hope not. I'm gonna be dancing my own corner, Katie, if you push me to the center, I'm gonna push you along too.
No way.
Yeah, so definitely want to boogie down. But neighbors, if you have any recommendations for New York or even LA, I spent most of my post-university in Korea, so I don't know too many spots in LA that are worth checking out.
Like local spots?
Yeah. Eateries, clubs,
or
lounges.
Like a flea market?
Flea market. Okay, send a separate list to Katie. Good luck at the flea market.
Okay, we do separate trips.
Yeah, we'll do separate trips and let's meet at the Getty Museum.
Getty Museum was so beautiful. So even though I've been there, I want to go there again.
I actually want to check out the Griffith Observatory as well. Because, like, remember I told you I kind of want to take a trip to go, like, check out, like, stars? You're like, stars? What the hell are you talking about? So random. But there's a huge observatory in LA. You can see a lot of stars.
Sounds good.
All right, that's what it is. Send some recommendations. And now we're going to move on to the slap heard across the world. Let's talk about Will Smith's redonkulous behavior towards Chris Rock. Okay, now I think people can already see my bias.
You got so upset.
So normally I do not care about celebrity news. It doesn't even...
I know. That's why it was so unusual for me to see such a big reaction.
The last time I actually cared about celebrity news was when Anthony Bourdain died, because I love seeing No Boundaries. And like all of his food stuff. But this one kind of upset me because I am a huge fan of stand-up comedy. And when I was growing up and there was Blockbuster, I think like maybe 40% of the time I would just be renting stand-up comedy specials. So I love it. I love the art of it. It's kind of made an impact on like how I try to tell stories. Not that I want to be a stand-up comedian, but like I pick up humor. Cues. Yeah. And I love I love satire. I love irony. I love their storytelling. I love the punchline. And it's just an art form that I love. And so seeing Will Smith. Okay, before I rant, Katie, can you tell us about the Korean reaction towards the news? Because it was so contrary to what I thought it would be.
Yeah. I mean, I only saw right at the beginning when the news came out. The comments and the sentiment was more like pro Will Smith because the story I got initially was that this comedian said something really like hurtful to his wife, and of course him as a man and husband of his wife would like to like fight for her or protect her. So he got so pissed that he hit this comedian. And then I saw a lot of comments supporting Will Smith's action, saying like I would have done the same thing if somebody like kind of cursed at my wife, and like that's like the most manly thing to do. That was the initial thing I got, and that kind of influenced my thinking too, without really knowing the context. At that moment, by the way, I didn't even watch the video. And then I see you coming with a completely different like point of view. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's because in Korea, there is no culture of stand-up comedy.
Yeah, we don't really understand that culture.
Asia in general doesn't have stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Most of it is slapstick humor.
Yeah.
Like you wear a funny wig, funny mask, and slap somebody on the head, or you do like funny, I don't know, something funny act. But like one person on stage doing satire and like leading a show, that I think is not common here. Now, I remember that there's this one guy, I forget.
Yu Byung-jae?
Yeah, he tried it, and I think it's picking up a little bit with the young. But sometimes, like the whole point of stand-up comedy is like being edgy, pushing the boundaries, and saying stuff that people would never dare to say because it's politically sensitive or politically incorrect to say.
Yeah.
So it's refreshing when someone says it, and you're like, "Wow, I can't believe he said it. It's hilarious."
Yeah.
And it's funny because there's a grain of truth in it, right? Humor is not funny when it's completely not funny, or like not true.
Yeah.
Right. So having said all of that, seeing Will Smith take, in my opinion, a joke that's a 2 out of 10, like Chris Rock's joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, which I'm just going to refer to Jada from here on out. I don't even know if Chris Rock knew that she had this. She's going through this thing called alopecia, which you get hair loss with. But saying that, oh, maybe she can get cast for G.I. Jane. That is such a 2 out of 10 joke. It's so mild. That's like Taco Bell hot sauce. That's just like a warm up. As we see the video, even like Will Smith is kind of, it's just like a chuckle. Like probably wasn't even that funny, but he's still like laughing along with it because it's just going along with the atmosphere, right? And then he sees Jada like having that kind of
bad
bad face, kind of a disgusted reaction towards it. Then she looks to her husband, like kind of like, aren't you going to do something about it? Kind of like look. And then all of a sudden, Will Smith does a 180, and then he's acting.
Goes on stage,
and then he does like this. First of all, what kind of slap is that? I've never seen a slap like that. Anyway, and then afterwards, he kind of walks off with like a, yeah, I did something. Like, look at that face. Like, that's acting. Like, he's acting for his wife. And then he sits down, and the guy's trembling and like, keep my name out of your effing mouth. And he's like trembling. Like, that's acting. It's so phony to me. And I'm not even a big fan of Will Smith. I liked him in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I also liked him in MIB. But beyond that, like, he's always seemed like not an authentic person. Like, he's always trying to, like, I can't take him seriously in serious films. But I guess that's besides the point for in arguing about, or like in answering this, right?
But you said you are a big fan of Chris Rock.
Yeah. So
you are biased a little bit.
No, I mean, even if this was someone else, if Will Smith was really angry and wanted to do something the proper way, he should have gone backstage with Chris Rock and like, hey, yo, man, that was like below the belt, man. You know my wife is dealing with this problem. Why did you say that? Chris Rock was like, hey, come on, man. I'm sorry if that did that. And it's done. Or if Will Smith was genuinely that angry, you take care of business backstage.
Yeah.
But you punch him backstage, and that's fine. That's, to me, that would have given Will Smith, I would have been like, man, Will Smith is he's a man's man. But from this reaction, I also saw how emasculated Will Smith is. He's emotionally unstable because of all the infidelity that they talked about publicly, and behind every man is a strong woman. And if you have a strong woman and you have a strong relationship, you're not that emotionally unstable.
But
He's very fragile.
You don't know what goes on behind the curtain between their relationships, so that's a little bit too far-fetched. But
it's clear that they don't have a strong relationship, and him trying.
Well, they have an open relationship, so they are very liberal. It's like they're maybe happy in their own ways. You really don't know about their own affairs.
To me, it seems pretty clear that their relationship is very rocky, and this whole thing called like the open relationship, and that's like the
cool thing to do.
No.
It's the woke thing to do. No, open relationship. Katie, in America, everybody is in open relationship.
No. You've fallen victim to their marketing. It's like when Gwyneth Paltrow broke up and she called her a conscious, what did she say?
Unconsciously decoupling. So remember I saw that word and I asked you, is this something that you use? Is this like a new thing to say we are divorced?
It sounds like something from Scientology. Like if you pay enough money, you can do unconscious decoupling to reach the... Anyway, it's all virtue signaling. Like, I don't want the stigma of divorce, so I'm going to make a new category for myself called conscious decoupling. And by doing that, I don't get the stigma of decoupling, yet I can live my life. And that's cool. Whatever you call it yourself, in order to get with your ordeal, that's fine. But then kind of entertainment, news media is taking that and then kind of pitching that out to the public as, hey, this is like you said, it's a cool thing to do. Open relationship is a cool thing to do. Well, obviously it's not, because Jada is having sex with some young kid and Will Smith. I, as a man too, would feel very emasculated. I would feel very I lose my kind of sense of control. Well, okay, maybe it's not sense of control, sense of confidence. Maybe I might not man enough for this woman, that she has to go find pleasure somewhere else. Like, why this? But but then he doesn't want to break up with her, and this, and then there's so much.
But it confuses me now because
there's
now
so much. One second. There's so much instability within Will Smith that as soon as some. By the way, Chris Rock is doing his job, right? How vulnerable is it in a position is he?
Yeah,
right?
that part is really, really bad.
Yeah, you like if someone came up to me while I'm doing a presentation, of course I would get hit. If you came up to me backstage where we're man to man, we would fist up. But the cameras are rolling.
Yeah, apparently it was live.
Yeah. So this is ridiculous. But I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah, but anyway, this.
What do you say? And also, by the way, like whatever that he said to her, how bad it was, using violence like that is just like not justifiable, right?
Exactly.
And I think it just didn't sink in initially when we first heard about it, but then yes. And what do you say to the people then who say that Chris Rock should apologize to the woman for hurting her, like that?
He didn't hurt her.
Like verbally.
That's her.
You know, there's like another group of people. Now Will Smith apologized?
No, he didn't apologize to Chris Rock. Or at least when I saw the thing, he apologized to the Oscars and stuff.
Yeah.
But he didn't
but later on, I think via Instagram,
that's why he's a weak human being. The person that you've hit, you don't apologize directly. He doesn't want to. He doesn't mean to. Because that would make his angry wife, she doesn't want it. So he won't do it. So right? That's what I mean. He's like emasculate. He's not a man. I think a man, even if your wife wants you to do one thing, you should be able to make a decision. Now, of course, like, I don't know how you see about this, but let's say I know you're in the wrong. I think there are times when I have to make an independent decision, even though I know you'd be angry at me in the short term, because this is the right thing to do, right? And a man, in my mind, a strong man is someone who's able to tell his wife, this is wrong. I don't like pushover husbands that sometimes they just do whatever their wives tell them to do simply because they don't want to fight. That relationship is very fragile. That's like a parent-to-child relationship. I don't want to get my wife to be angry at me, so I'll do this. I don't like that. Now, I'm not saying that like you should be not making compromises, but this is how it feels to me right now, the dynamic with, And so I guess my speculation at this point, but so.
Why did you expect Will Smith to be such a moral, like, unless you expected him to be a morally, like, high person or ethical person, put him in a high standard on all different levels, then there's nothing for you to be disappointed about, right?
Yeah, I used to say that, like...
he's just an actor, right? But then I think a lot of the times all these famous people that we see on media, we think that they're also very virtuous,
exactly,
like very
that's the right
high
word,
moral,
yeah,
high moral, very ethically driven, or like putting them A-level on all different aspects of living.
Yeah,
but that's such a misconception. They're just good at their craft.
Exactly. That's
but somehow 100%. We live in this, like, we think of this
we project what we want that famous person to embody what we think is right or wrong too.
I think so. But it's kind of, in some ways, it's very natural because we see them in movies, in dramas, and they all play really like perfect guy or perfect woman roles. And then it's kind of hard to detach them from that character. That's what I suffer too.
You're right. I mean, if we take a look at Will Smith, I mean, he's just or even like, let's take even like K-pop singers or dancers like BTS. I mean, when I saw like a documentary on this one, it was on Vice, about this one kid who didn't make it into BTS. He got cut as a trainee.
He was a trainee, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just seeing that, and he was just like, they basically did an audition and they pulled like kids from all parts of Korea to form this group, and the trainee and even the members were like, what kind of name is Bulletproof? What is it? Bangtan Boy Scouts, something like that in Korean. And he's like, this name is ridiculous, and they were like, we think it's ridiculous too, but we're going with it. But the reason I say all that was that kid was like, yeah, it's hard for me to see these guys as these world-class entertainers. To me, they're so geeky because I met them when we were first training and we were all geeks. Like we didn't know what cool was. We didn't even know how to do all these like dancing. We were all trained at, right? And so like now, like if you look at like BTS songs, you think that they'll be an ambassador of love, ambassador of all these like liberal thinking. Like who knows what their thoughts about
They
like
don't
gay
do
marriage
any wrong
or like you know, like LGBTQ initiatives. You think because Hollywood and they're pushing and K-pop is on this, you think they'll be pushing the same agenda. You know, you don't know until the situation comes, right? And so, you know, for like Will Smith, someone who is at the top of Hollywood, you just expect better behavior and for him to act. But here, there's a big divergence because what he did wrong is so far from just decency. He didn't have decency. So that's why everyone is disgusted because that's like, you know, like the Oscars is a time where it celebrates Hollywood's best. You're celebrating achievement and there's a certain code of conduct which you get trained as an elementary kid on how to act.
Just because you got offended by what somebody said,
there could have been other ways that you could have responded. One could have been just heckling, right? Just
with
like,
words, right?
Yeah, be like,
cut it out or...
Well, I don't know about cut it out, but cut it out.
Is it too weak?
Cut it out. Don't say it.
You make fun of me.
No, but he could have been like, boo, or like, you know, that's seriously, you think that's funny? Or like one word like that. And then, you know, Chris Rock would have gotten the hint that it's like, okay, not that funny and moving on, right? But going and hitting someone, I think that's going 0 to 100. That's hitting an ant with a sledgehammer. It's ridiculous. Don't look to celebrities for virtue. Or don't put your virtue onto them because you'll be disappointed. There's that whole saying of like, you're going to be disappointed when you meet your heroes.
But it's not just celebrities, right?
Yeah, even guys.
All the famous people
sports
politicians.
Stars.
Yeah, sports stars or I don't know.
Look at Tiger Woods.
Business people too.
Tiger Woods, perfect example.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods didn't, like everyone thought because he's in golf, it's a high class sport, that he's a gentleman. He was just, oh my gosh, just playboy to the max. How many girls has he slept with? Over 20, 30? But then if you think about him, like if you're thinking, like he never had a childhood. He never had like his 20s to like have fun and like meet girls because he was basically like just practicing.
Dedicating all his life to golf.
So now that he succeeded and like just rich white women are just like throwing themselves at him because he
was married, right?
Yeah. I, as a guy, I can't really like, I don't think most guys or anyone has ever been in a position where anywhere you go, women are just throwing their bodies at them. And do you know how hard of a temptation that would be? I know you're smirking at me. It's very easy when you haven't been in that position. Now, if you had virtue, you would say no to that. And that's how you know, right? Are you a virtuous person or not? Like, do you stay faithful to the person? And for Tiger Woods, it was clearly no, right? So people were disappointed. But back to the point, why do we expect a golf star to be a beacon of virtue? But we want him to because we like him. We look up to him in one avenue, right? I
think it's our wishful thinking projected onto them.
But that's why I think the disappointment is so big when religious leaders, that's what they're revered in society.
Like sexual assault cases by like a priest or something.
Exactly. Like what is a priest's value is to like help out a community or a minister. You know, there's a lot of ministers who like touching kids and stuff too, right? Or stealing money, right? Stealing money or buying expensive yachts. There's like those TV ministers or even local parishers that like buying, like taking all the church money.
For them, they haven't done. They are expected that they are of high morality.
Yes, because they haven't
done. Because it's their job to be highly moral.
They haven't done anything. They haven't shown any act to garner virtue, but we as a society give them virtue because of the aspect that they're in religion. And religion is based on high ethics and moral. So as ambassadors for the religion, they're just given virtue from society.
But I mean, they also have to like work towards it too, right? Like in in temples too. They just live in temples, like with their head shaved and all the time praying in meditation. So they work hard towards it too.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
it's true that
yes.
occasionally we will see these like wrong cases on the news, and it just disappoints people to the rock bottom.
Yeah. And in those cases, it should, the damage is big. And it's justified that the damage is big because you're supposed to be a beacon of virtue, showing people how to live a more moral
much
life.
more disappointing than some Hollywood star.
It
doing
shakes the
something
foundations
wrong.
of people's identity when stuff like that happens.
Yeah, because you believed in that person to like be a beacon of all this. Yeah.
Oh, but I don't think Will Smith should get his Oscar taken away. I think I read the news that he's banned for 10 years.
You say you wanted to watch that film though, King Richard.
Yeah, because I like Serena Williams.
I'm really interested in the story too.
But when Kanye went up and took Taylor Swift's moment, that was actually, I still remember I was in college and I ran upstairs and I was like, my roommate was like studying, so I was like, fuck Kanye. I was like, this guy is an egomaniac and I can't believe he took that girl's moment away from her. That is unacceptable to me. And I remember going into my iTunes list and I like was about to delete it and I was like, wait a minute, I paid a lot of the money for this. I was like, I can't delete it, but I stopped playing his music after that. And so I think this is a similar moment for me with Will Smith. Not that I liked his film anyway, but I'm just not gonna just watch it. Yeah. Can't believe I'm talking about celebrity news for this long.
Yeah, it's so unusual for you.
You can't. I mean, I want to go to a comedy club, and I don't want this potential effect where people go and slap people when they don't like.
As someone who believes in free speech, and liberty, it's just so wrong.
Exactly.
Oh, maybe I should talk about my interview experience.
That's right.
So the other day I got a LinkedIn message from a headhunter from a crypto exchange in Korea, and they're about to like open an NFT business and they're hiring like teams for that. So
it's one of the top 3. It's a big one, but don't say the name.
Yeah, and an NFT business is something I have interested in, so I thought it would be like good opportunity. So I decided to proceed with the whole application, and then so there was a coding test to do pre assignment, like take home challenge, which I did for a week and submitted, and I passed that. And then I had a first round interview, and the interview went pretty good. I felt good about it, and I was like kind of secretly waiting for a second round interview. And then
you said the interview you came out of it saying like, wow, this is really easy. There wasn't
I was expecting it to be much harder,
but wasn't a technical question that you couldn't like
all the stuff that I expected they asked.
Exactly.
So it was pretty smooth, I thought. And then I was waiting for them to get back to me because they said, I'll get back to you like early next week. Monday passed, nothing. Tuesday passed, nothing. Wednesday, I'm like shaking now. When are they gonna come back to me? And then I get a call from the HR person, and then all of a sudden just like turned the whole situation 180. What she said was, okay, so the interview process, they liked you, but the scope of work that you will be doing here, or the level of work that you'll be doing here, it will be kind of much less than what you would expect. So we think that you will not be satisfied with the kind of work that you'll be doing.
Basically,
in this
you're
team.
overqualified for the position.
Yeah. And so instead, we have set up a new company, which will do like a NFT Global. And we want you to join that startup, which was basically set up 2 weeks ago. And then for that, we will give you stock options. And then they started throwing all this like big jargons like we're about to also set up an office in LA, so that if you want, we will give you the work permit to work in the US.
Yeah, and like couple red flags went off. Number one, like on stock options, like I've had the opportunity to receive stock options, and I've told Katie that stock options is really exciting when you hear it, but you have to look into the term sheets. Like you have to look how long you have to work at the company for it to accrue. There's like clawback provisions. If you leave the company, you might have to sell like at a whatever market price, and most likely they're not giving you that much, right? And so while it sounded to me like they were desperate to get you, and they were like dangling carrots in front of you. But they were dangling in a way that was very unprofessional.
Basically, right? They don't have any product yet, no team set up, nothing. Yeah. There isn't even a homepage.
Exactly.
Company website. And then they want me to join that company. Yeah. And I was like, no, that's just so much uncertainty, and it's not what I was looking for initially.
And even with the H1, or even with they were like, yeah, we're gonna set up a office in LA so we can get a work visa in the US for you if you want to work in the US. And they were saying it in a way that like that's a sure shot thing, but I've gone through that process as well. Getting a H1B to basically a work visa in the US is not up to the company. They can file an application, but it's a lottery system that the US government randomly gives out. So whether you're working for Google or Facebook, or let alone this like small startup, it's not guaranteed. So you might end up, working in Korea with the expectation that they were going to do it for you, and it's 5 years later, and then they're like, "Oh, sorry, it didn't work." So that kind of rubbed me in the wrong way too. Who do they think they're dealing with? Just kidding.
Yeah.
But how can you be overqualified to work at an IT job? You're not applying to be a cashier at a donut shop where, if you graduated from Harvard, they know you're going to leave in like a month, right? And so they don't want to go through the expenses of hiring you. But for an IT company where it's so competitive to get talent, to shut somebody down because they're overqualified, it was like ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, they said there's nothing.
I've never heard of that.
They liked me, but it's just I'm too overqualified. And are you hearing yourself? But it's exactly what they said. So either they were lying or they really mean it. But yeah, it's so hard to.
I don't think they're lying, because if they lied to you, they wouldn't have said, because we turned down that offer for joining the venture arm of their firm. They said, okay, but if you do in the future have any inclination to join, please contact us immediately, and we'll plug you in, basically. Yeah. So if you were, first of all, I've never heard of an HR lie to someone just to hurt their feelings, saying that you're overqualified, but we have to let you go, right? So my guess is that number one, the team lead there, you might be better than the team lead that's leading that specific team unit. And so she feels that her job is in jeopardy if you come and kind of rock the boat.
Yeah, right? I think they were looking for somebody much more junior. But like that's still hard to believe, because in my company, whether you are junior, senior, or whatever, if you are good and if we think that there's so much to learn from you, we will hire you.
And it's a crypto company. I'm really surprised that mentality is there. Like, it's one of the largest crypto exchanges in Korea, and they have a lot of money. I mean, they're like the new banks, but we got to short the stock. Are they publicly listed? No, I don't think so.
Don't think so.
Yeah.
But yeah. So when I said no to that new offer, and when I asked whether I can still proceed with that initial position, they said no. So yeah, I was really disappointed, because I prepared a lot for this whole process. It took me like a month to go through all the way up till the first round.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I need a break, so let's go to the US.
Yeah. No, but good job. I think though we walked out of it with knowing your market value, even in a more accurate view. Like I think you can join any company. Like you were undershooting your capabilities, and you know that company is very famous in Korea for paying one of the highest salaries for software devs. And if you're overqualified for that position, that means we need to go permissionless. You need to make your own product. Just make your own and make things happen, right? It's ridiculous spending 1 month. I'm pissed that we spent even a month like prepping for that. Like they should have at least bought us a loteria or something. God damn.
I don't want loteria.
Loteria with a cola and some shrimp shushu burger.
So I was really riled up about that for a while, but it's been already a few weeks now. But we will see. We'll see where the future opportunities will take us.
We gotta go permissionless, Katie. Gotta build something. Yes. I feel like we have, you know, I don't want to break up.
I feel like you are a very happy person.
What? Today?
Just the overall.
Why do you say that?
No, something you said yesterday that really struck me. It's more than I'm a happy person. You said I love my life or something like that. It's like when you said that, I feel like, is he singing a lyrics? But yeah, I was just kind of a little bit reminded how different we are in like how we view things.
I remember why I said that. We were walking around looking at the cherry blossoms, and I was just excited for today because I was looking forward to go climbing.
But that's all it takes.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you know how to take small things and like take happiness from small things, which is really good thing.
I just imagined in my mind when we were walking through the cherry blossoms, I was like, I'm gonna go.
And then you said, I think I'm in heaven or something.
No, I didn't say that. No, that doesn't sound like something I would say. Yeah, because the concept of heaven never really enters my life. I think
dream. I think you said.
Oh yeah.
It feels like a dream.
Feels like a dream because I feel like my life is. I feel very happy. I'm so excited about the stuff that's coming up because tomorrow I can go climbing, and I was anticipating in my mind I'm gonna go finish this hold, and the day before I played squash with my friend. It was really fun. I was just reminiscing on some of the dialogue, and then this upcoming, I have another thing, and I'm just looking forward. And I don't know. This ties back to what we were saying earlier. Like when we actually go climbing, I'm gonna not even finish. I can't finish those purple ones. I'm gonna be like, God,
so stressed.
So I can't finish it, and but just the idea of it, just having little things to look forward to. I think that's part of you have to build your own happiness.
Yeah, the thing is you're really good at it, so I think that's really, really good.
I don't think in life it's like the big things. I'm not looking forward to that much of this big trip to the US. That doesn't seem happy to me. Small things.
I'm so looking forward to it.
Okay, yeah, that's a little bit different. Yeah, I want to go climbing, and then I'm excited to come home and actually cook one of the
what? Fish?
No, the bulgogi that we have.
Are we having that for lunch?
Yeah.
Oh.
So in my mind, I'm already thinking about it. It just makes me excited.
So I think you are a very simple person.
I take that as a compliment. I want to have a simple mind.
I wish I can be wired like that. I don't know. I feel already so stressed about the upcoming week. There's so many things that needs to be done, and
because your brain is thinking in Chinese, you have to speak English. Your colleagues are talking to you in Korean. You gotta simplify your mind, right?
My heart is so at unease, and
say that in
I
Chinese.
Wish I can.
Say that in Chinese.
不知道.
There's no way.
我不知道.
There's no way. There's no way that says that, because I heard that 10 times already. Say, I wish I have a simpler life.
What? 我不知道。
I knew it. You're a phony. All that talk. When Katie's with me, she keeps telling me she's Confucius.
I never say that. But it's really interesting. Even you know that 1 month in China, in Beijing, that summer school.
Yeah.
Like I still pick up a lot of little things that Chinese people say, like in the movies. Like some small things like 吃饭 or like 听得懂 or like something like, yeah. I don't get the full sentence, but I pick up little things, so it's really
There's
good.
the one where he goes, "Where's your ma?" And I always go, "My mom's at home." What does that actually mean? Because Katie never explains it. Neighbors,
Where's your mom?
you always go, "Where's your mama?" Or you go, "Where's your ma? Where's your ma?" And I always respond to you with the same thing. I go, "Oh, my mom's doing well," or "My mom's at home. My mom's probably cooking."
好吃吗?
Yeah, how's your ma? What does that mean?
好吃吗?
How's you ma?
Does it taste good?
Easy
Easy peasy.
Hey, all right, Katie, I believe you. Pretty good. That sounds real authentic. All right, neighbors, I think we're going to have to end it with Chinese for the day.
I think our neighbors had listened to enough Chinese today.
I think that's enough future neighbor podcast for one day. Find something to be happy about. Think about it. Because you know when you do it, it's not going to be that great. But in your mind, that's where the beauty lies. Amen.
Don't delete this podcast.
Oh, I know. I got to be careful.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening, y'all.